What is human-made? Well, in short, human-made is this guy, Nagao Tomoaki, known around the world as N.E.R.D. You may already know the name human-made from its high-profile collaborations with brands like Adidas or Louis Vuitton. Or maybe you've heard of N.E.R.D because of the company he founded called A Bathing Ape. There are separate videos to be made on N.E.R.D and Babe. This video is going to tell you everything you need to know about human-made, its origin, its evolution, and what it is they do so well. My name is Will, this is Passport Style. Now before we get started, please apply force to the subscribe button. There are going to be a lot more really cool videos like this one where we explore work from cool brands around the world, so don't forget to come back for more. Now let's get into it. So how did it all start? A Bathing Ape had two very tough years in 2009 and 2010 in the wake of a global recession, and the company was in serious financial trouble. According to the Wall Street Journal, the company lost $3.25 million in 2009 and about $1.5 million in 2010. At this point, IT, a retail conglomerate based in Hong Kong, acquired 90% of the company from N.E.R.D for $2.8 million in 2011. That's about 9,000 pairs of animal mix print Babestas today. N.E.R.D, who was 40 years old at the time, agreed to stay on as creative director of A Bathing Ape for 2 more years, until April 30th, 2013. But his new venture was already in the works. Human-Made actually debuted its first collection on October 15th, 2010, while N.E.R.D was still in charge of A Bathing Ape. The collection was titled Where Are You in the 2010s, and totaled 22 pieces, including jeans, sweats, vintage jackets, t-shirts, sneakers, and hunting jackets. It was a collaboration between N.E.R.D and his longtime friend Nakamura Shinichiro, the enigmatic graphic designer otherwise known as Scathing. The collection was sold exclusively at the Japanese retailer Beams, where prices ranged from $200 for the prison pants and the sweatshirt to about $1,000 for the Yokosuka jumper. Since the beginning and to this day, N.E.R.D has worked with Osaka-based Warehouse to manufacture his clothing. The company was founded in 1995 by two brothers whose goal it was to recreate the highest quality vintage clothing and fabrics. Taking a slightly closer look, the overall aesthetic is overwhelmingly similar to the human-made of 2020. In other words, N.E.R.D has done a great job preserving the vintage 1950s Americana-inspired look of human-made since its inception nearly 10 years ago. Now before we go any further, it's important to understand a little bit more about the human-made logo. Everything about the label is supposed to exude a vintage, handcrafted, Americana feeling and look. That's what human-made is. And like all human-made creations, N.E.R.D utilized his own design for this logo. The label has many famous icons like the polar bear and the duck, but this is the only one that truly embodies what human-made is. If you know a thing or two about A Bathing Ape, its name borrows from a movie that N.E.R.D loves, the 1968 American motion picture Planet of the Apes. I mention this because not only does human-made represent handcrafted workmanship, the name also represents N.E.R.D moving on from A Bathing Ape to human-made. I haven't been able to substantiate this with any information online, and N.E.R.D has never publicly confirmed this, but I personally believe the human-made logo looks so much like a Neanderthal because that's what humans would have looked like tens of thousands of years ago had they evolved from primates. It also represents N.E.R.D moving on from A Bathing Ape to human-made. With regard to the mysterious STRMCWBY portion of the logo, after hours of searching, I found that it stands for Storm Cowboy. The logo may even be inspired by the military badge of a covert American Special Forces group. Lastly, human-made uses the phrase gears for futuristic teens because N.E.R.D has publicly stated he wants to remain a teenager forever. When he tried to put that feeling into words, this is what it became. Of course, Nigo has absorbed the influence of many cultures and fashion around the world throughout his career, but Human-Made leans heavily on 20th century American style and culture. He loves 1950s America, when wearing a white undershirt as a top and blue jeans became normal, something he calls an evolutionary way of thinking at the time. When he started Human-Made, he's quoted as listening to a lot of early Elvis and English artists like the Beatles, the Polecats, and Kitty, Daisy, and Lewis. But as a member of Teriyaki Boys, Nigo's own roots are in hip-hop culture, and he has said that the New York radio station Hot 97 can always be heard streaming in the Human-Made office. Additionally, Nigo has stated that one of the important elements that makes up Human-Made is shokunin, which translates to artisan or someone who makes handcrafted products. A quick glance at any Human-Made product is likely to confirm all of this. Each product has unique characteristics that make it stand out, but all draw on these same elements. Since its inception in 2010, Human-Made has made waves around the world with its innovative yet sometimes basic designs. Interestingly enough, Human-Made has never had a namesake flagship store. Its first storefront opened under the name Cold Coffee. Nigo loves coffee and has publicly discussed his fascination with coffee luwak. So it kind of makes sense that he would sell clothes at a fake coffee shop? Maybe not. This image is actually the first version of the Human-Made website, when it was just an announcement of the Cold Coffee store hours. The store opened in August of 2011, selling Human-Made clothing as well as vintage American toys and goods. At the same time, the company launched Human-Made's first online retail presence with a website of the same name, coldcoffee.jp. Compared to its current website, the old one definitely looks old. On the screen, you can see the cached versions of the website from 2011 and 2016. The Cold Coffee website and store were closed in 2017, but of course you can still get Human-Made clothing online at the Human-Made website, and you can still buy clothing in-store at their select number of flagship locations in Japan, as well as at the authorized dealers you can find on their website. Collaborations with the brand have been kept to a relatively short list you can find in the description, and none of them diverge too far from the core elements that make up Human-Made. Two of the many interesting collabs that I'm in love with include Kentucky Fried Chicken, which saw the company open up a one-day pop-up store in New York City, followed by a one-day experience in Tokyo, both in November of 2018. The 2013 collab with Coca-Cola and Beans created a capsule collection with the dopest vintage feel to the entire collection you can see in some of the pictures here. Not to be confused with the also dope 2015 collaboration with Coca-Cola, celebrating 100 years of the Coke bottle. And of course, the 2019 Cactus Plant Flea Market and Human-Made collab that I'm wearing right now. There will actually be a separate video on this sweatshirt alone coming out at a later date, so be sure to come back or check the channel right now. Also pertinent, Nigo entered the restaurant business in 2010 with a restaurant called Curry Up, which was reportedly named by Nigo's friend Pharrell Williams. The Curry Up mascot can be found in a number of Human-Made works, as well as in the restaurant's 3 locations in Japan, in Shinjuku, Harajuku, and Nakameguro, which was the 3rd location and opened up in 2018. In summary, there is a lot to be excited about for the future of Human-Made. Nigo spent 20 years at the helm of Bape, and he's just about to enter his 2nd decade at the helm of Human-Made later this year. The brand has grown from pants and jackets to much more, including a wide variety of cool accessories. The brand still has plenty of runway to innovate with its future vintage looks, and if I had to make one prediction, I think there will be a line released later in 2020 or early 2021 that will be titled, "Where Are You in the 2020s?" calling back to the first line of Human-Made, released in 2010. So what do you think about Human-Made? Do you still love it? Do you love it more? Did you learn something from this video? Let me know in the comments below. As always, my name is Will, this is Passport Style, and I'll see you next time.